this is just going to be a video on tips about PC cooling. So, I was just opening my computer up just to take a look at some stuff, and I decided to make a video. So one of the first things is cable management, and I know this is a messy system. I haven't gotten around to it yet, and yes, there are a lot of things I'm going to say to do that I haven't done yet because I haven't gotten around to it or something, and this computer doesn't produce much heat anyways. But you want to hide all the excess cables, like this, cables, and just any cables behind the case, or behind the back panel, stuff like that. Don't buy IDE drives. This motherboard only supports IDE, so I had to. But because these are very wide, and compared to SATA drives, they're not very good. But it works for what I use it for. This is just a workstation. CPU cooling. Use a really good high quality heatsink with a good fan on it. A good heatsink should be made of copper and have heat pipes in it, especially if you're overclocking. You need heat pipes. And the bottom of the heatsink should be very, very shiny, almost like glass, because then you know it's really smooth, and it will be you won't have to put as much thermal compound on the CPU, which is good. And also the fins, see the fins in there? The fins should be very, very closely spaced together, because then that means that you'll have a very high surface area for heat to be vented away from. And also use a good thermal compound. I recommend Arctic Silver 5 because it has silver, polysynthetic silver in it. So yeah, the main two components that produce heat are the CPU and your video card. For your video card, it's the same thing with your CPU. You want to choose one with a good heatsink on it. You won't be able to see the one on there, but the one on here is quite small. But this one doesn't produce as much heat anyway. And also, buy a video card that has a dual slot cooler, and you want one that vents most of the air outside the case to keep your total ambient case temperature down. Or if you want lower GPU temperatures and higher overclocking, use one with one that vents some of the air out the bracket and some into your case, but just make sure you have some good fans inside. This case supports 1, 2, and 3 80mm fans, but I'm probably going to mod this case and put a big 120 or something up there. Also, a good tip is to get a good case. Get one that's made of aluminum, because then it will vent some of the heat into the case and then out. And also buy one with side vents, and if you want to, you can even cut a hole in the side of the panel and put like a 120mm fan in there or something. For hard drive cooling, I have one hard drive right here. If you're gonna have dual hard drives or even triple hard drives, you want to leave at least one empty drive bay in between them, because then you'll get the most air flowing out. So that's also why I got the fan there. I haven't bought any fans yet, so there's none there. But this computer is overclocked from 2.66 gigahertz to 3 gigahertz, and all my temperatures are still under 40 degrees. The highest it's hit is maybe 37. idle, it's at maybe 33 to 35 degrees Celsius, which I like. Also for power supplies, if you can get them with the big one, the big fan underneath or on top, but the basic laws of physics is that the air has to go up here, turn 90 degrees and go up there, and that creates whirlpools. So a good power supply, this is an okay power supply, but a good power supply that you want to run cool will have one on this side, so it'll just be blowing it out. But that's just how this one came, so I have to deal with it. Also, the same rule for hard drives also applies to optical drives, because optical drives do get quite warm. And last thing, your Northbridge and your RAM. Your Northbridge heatsink should be made out of copper or extruded aluminum, and you should have a good thermal compound. If you want to replace your heatsink, you can, but most motherboards these days, most power user motherboards anyway, will come with a good Northbridge, and even sometimes a Southbridge heatsink. For your RAM, don't know if you can see that one slot of RAM there. You want to, if your RAM does get really hot, you should consider buying some RAM with integrated heat spreaders, and you can even get a fan that clips onto the RAM clips and blows cool, fresh air onto the RAM. Oh, and one last thing is your VRMs. This doesn't, most newer motherboards will just have one slot, or not slot, but line of MOSFETs there, and MOSFETs there, and chokes too. So those, if they get really warm, which they do sometimes, you can buy small heat sinks and put them on there. Another good thing I recommend is for your video card is you can actually buy, for one like this where no heat sinks are on the RAM on your video card, you can buy, I think Zalman makes them, where just little heat sinks that you can tape onto the thermal tape onto the what do you call it, RAM chips. So thanks for watching. This is QSauce Studios, and thanks for watching.